So Tim Pool has put up a spooky, scary billboard about Taylor Lorenz, the professional harasser.
Yes,
I think it's
the
title.
doxer, professional doxer.
Professional doxer. And I thought I'd start it off with some shilling. This is a premium video, which we did the live event, Why Feminist Immigration Policy Will Save the West, because apparently we need some more rational women in the West to take over Taylor's job.
The Ukrainian solution, basically, to the immigration problem.
Basically, so go and give that a watch. But otherwise, we should get into the spooky, scary billboard. So get the next one. We can see, for people who may not know, for some reason, what Taylor Lorenz did. So the article there from Washpo, just doxing libs of TikTok, giving out her personal address at first, before they then...
I love doxing a woman.
Yeah, doxing a woman as well. Name, personal address, why? Public interest.
Yeah.
No, there is no public interest.
But you know what it is, and this follows on from the Elon Musk thing we just covered. Yeah. It's because of the power of Twitter. They saw that lots of people were seeing what the final form of their ideology looks like, and they were like, well, wait a minute, this makes us look terrible. And Twitter's a really powerful place where public opinion is formed. Therefore, this person needs to be doxed and harassed off the internet.
I love how she put the argument backwards as well. It's like, because she's able to expose where her ideology goes, that makes her an important public figure because she's influencing the public.
Yes.
Therefore, her name and address is of public interest. It doesn't make any sense. No, the end point of your ideology is what's interesting about this TikTok.
Yeah, that's the only reason it was an important account.
Yeah, as you can see here, Matt Walsh dunking on them for this because they are complete scumbags, as he says, rightfully. And I suppose we'll move on from that. I love that he's going around with a billboard saying, what's a woman to everyone as well. We'll go to the next one. We have Taylor, who has been doing the rounds, just telling people that she's an American hero. As you can see here, she says part of the reason she decided to dox libs of TikTok is because, for all we know, this could have been a foreign actor. Could have been a Russian.
So what if it was?
But even then, yeah,
what, are you,
it
a
doesn't
xenophobe?
Matter. But also, if it's obviously not, because she's done interviews in English with an English-American accent continuously. Like, there's no way she's foreign, frankly. And then, even if it was, it doesn't matter. And as you can see, Jack Posobiec being like, she's telling people she's a patriotic hero. I mean, absolute psychopath.
But okay, what's she doing? Well, it's a foreigner who's posting crazy leftist takes on TikTok. Oh, no. That's a threat to the United States, is it?
I mean, if there's any...
What are you talking about?
I mean, if a Hungarian wants to do that,
yeah, exactly.
Like, no one's going to stop you.
Yeah, exactly. It's legal.
So it's also a good thing to do to expose insanity.
Yeah, thank you very much for your service.
Yeah, so Tim Pool decided to get together. Go to the next one. We can see he put up a billboard with Jeremy Boring, from the Daily Wire. And I love it. I love everything about it.
I was talking to Tim Pool the other day, and he was like, I'm going to put up a billboard. I think they'll reject it. I was like, yeah, they probably will. And then boom, next day, billboard up. Okay, they didn't reject it. Good news. Apparently,
Jeremy used this to get his Razor adverts up as well. So presumably he's still got that contact, whoever it is. And Tim says in here, the Washington Post and Taylor Lorenz doxed Libs of TikTok. They included a link to private work details and an address listed as Lib's private home. They lied about it, so I got an ad in. Times Square calling them out, and thanks to Jeremy Boring for the assist, which... beautiful. 1.4 million views on the video there alone. Never mind the actual people seeing it and whatnot, who have no idea what's going on, but now they know. They've been well informed. If we go to the next one, we can see Taylor, who's very mad, very upset, not happy. She decided to go with Tim Pool, and the CEO of the Daily Wire took out a giant billboard in Times Square today in an attempt to discredit my reporting on Libs of TikTok.
Oh, no, Taylor. They were accepting that your reporting of the dox of Libs of TikTok was accurate. That's not discredited. I mean, that's involved. They're not saying Taylor Lorenz failed to dox Libs of TikTok because she's incompetent. No. What they're saying is you're evil.
And you know that yourself, because there's no way you don't feel bad about what you've done. Like, well, you know what you did was wrong.
Come on, look at these psychopaths.
She's got Amber Heard syndrome. I don't know.
Well, yeah, exactly.
Well, she decides to underneath this. She said, "This billboard is so undeniably so idiotic, it's hilarious, but don't forget that these campaigns have a much darker and more violent side."
Well, it can't be that hilarious then, can it?
No, but also these sort of campaigns have a much darker and violent side. Oh, really? Oh, really, really?
Oh,
like
they
a somebody
get people to harass you, are they?
A certain who else has done such a violent and dark the campaigns? Who could have done such things in the past? Who else? It's you, Taylor.
But why is it idiotic? I mean, that's completely true. You did do these things.
You are the evil one in this situation, just by listing what happened, and you know it.
You look terrible.
But then her saying that this sort of thing is violent and dark, whereas her doxing a private individual, and also censoring the tweets so no one except her followers can respond.
But notice that Tim Pool can reply.
Yeah. And she continues to say, I'm grateful to be at a newsroom that recognizes these bad faith, politically motivated attacks and has a strong security team.
So the New York Times in favor of doxing people who make leftist ideology look bad. Got it. Got it. That's exactly what you're saying. We knew that already, Taylor.
But also, it's such a level of psychopathic insanity here, where she's like, this is evil, but what I do is good and pure. But also, I'm glad that I've got a backing of multiple institutions.
I've got a strong security team. You don't.
Liberty TikTok don't. Yeah. Absolutely doesn't. She also makes sure, of course, that only verified checkmarks can respond.
It's really the mask off, though, isn't it? The regime is like, yeah, you know what? This is just based on power. We're going to do this to you. And if you do it to us, you're just not strong enough to hurt us.
All the comments underneath as well, verified checkmarks supporting her.
Of course.
Are just like sycophantic people.
Yeah, exactly. They're the sycophants of the regime.
Mad. If we go to the next one, we can see her saying here as well, I'd love to know which media is buying the ads for this.
She's going to dox them too.
Yeah, so she wants to dox their name in the name of public interest as well. It's like, she really has learned nothing. I mean, genuinely, I think you're right. She doesn't feel anything. No, she is some kind of a human ant.
But what I love about this, right, is that Jeff Bezos' newspaper, isn't it? Oh, no, it's New York Times, not the Washington Post.
I know, she moved to Washington Post for this.
Oh, did she? Yeah. So this is the Washington Post, right?
She is a billionaire's serf.
Yeah, but the Jeff Bezos' giant newspaper, old, austere, professional...
propaganda piece.
But it's in a very public spat with a Twitter account called Libs of TikTok. Like, how embarrassing. Like, Taylor Lorenz has dragged them down to this level and they support me. It's like, well, that's stupid. That's embarrassing.
But also, just look at those power dynamics. Like, you've got literally a billionaire's mouthpiece and a random individual. Like, which one of these is more authentic?
Yeah, exactly. Which one are you siding with? And which one's winning as well?
Yeah.
Like, you're losing the fight against a random Twitter account that posts TikTok videos. How, Taylor?
You thought this was going to be easy, wouldn't you? You really thought this was going to be a pushover. Oh, you lost. We move to the next one because there's also something weird going on with her age. So, this is one of her sycophants, it seems.
That's surely not a sycophant.
So this is one of the response. The abuse that women over 40 have to deal with on this platform is horrifying. And she responds with, make it make sense, America. So presumably they're friends. And
that's a horrible thing to say.
You're over 40.
She's 49.
What age is she?
49.
How do you know?
Because I've seen people posting it.
But does that mean it's true?
No, I don't know.
Because nobody seems to know. Even Taylor Lorenz certainly doesn't know by the looks of it.
No woman over 40 wants to admit her age, mate.
We got the next one because it's weird. You have this interview she gave. Was this last year or whatever? And she was like 1 in 3 women under 35 experience online harassment, such as her, who suffered severe PTSD from being doxxed.
One thing to do is look at the sort of veiny neck that she has. That's not a young woman's neck.
Sorry, you're an expert in...
Yes.
Okay. No, I love the idea. There's it's a specialist skill you can acquire.
Yeah. Another thing is how veiny the hands are.
Yeah.
Look at the quality of the skin on the hands.
Well, if we get the next one, we have the quartering, making the obvious point, which is a fun fact. 49-year-old Taylor Lorenz is deeply sensitive about her age and has lied about it multiple times.
Yes.
And usually I wouldn't really give a care, but what's interesting is she definitely does. She really does. If we go to the next one, we see the quartering make the point again. The official Libs of TikTok has now surpassed 700,000 followers. It has gained nearly 70,000 today alone. Thank you, 49-year-old Taylor Lorenz. Just to make sure she knows.
And what I love about this as well is what's she going to do? Come on, go, no, I'm 47.
No, she's going to say she's 43.
Oh, really?
Go to the next one. We have her saying this is her official age, at least according to herself. I'm 43.
Now,
are you?
Let's wait for Stefan Molyneux to be reinstated on Twitter so we can check what age the egg carton and how empty it is at this point.
It's missing a few, put it lightly. She says she's 43 here, but if we get the next one in 2020, she said she was 35. To the New York Times.
You wish you were 35.
Why'd you do that? Why? It was just, okay. If we go to the next one in 2018, she said she was 31. Again, just to pick at random numbers by the looks of it. If we go to the next one, in 2022, she says she's 40. Sorry, nearly 40. Just talking about eggs there as well. It's just hilarious.
Harvested 41 eggs, eh? Well, hang on. Get that up. Does she freeze her eggs?
I don't know if she's done. A few feels like rents, but of course.
Yeah.
Talking about freezing eggs.
She's frozen multiple. 41 eggs she's got frozen.
Miss Lorenz, 31.
Miss Lorenz, you're nearly 50. When are you planning on trying to use those eggs. And that's not a guaranteed thing, as we have covered in the past, in fact. So good luck with that.
But I love how she's 31, she swears, and she's signed off on the procedure at 28.
Right.
No, none of these numbers make sense.
Right.
But like none of them make any consistent sense.
Also, you're going to be a childless spinster.
If we go to the next one as well, in 2022, she says she's 40. Yeah, it just doesn't. Just pick a number. That's how old she is, according to herself. And if we go to Wikipedia, her own Wikipedia is guessing. So if you go down, you see born. So if we could scroll down there, you can see the born section, October 21st, 1984 to 1987. She was born in between 1984 and 1987. We don't know when. It's just absolute confusion. She also won an award for being 40 under 40. That was in 2019. It's just like, again, none of the numbers, none of the, like, there are multiple instances of her saying she's a different age, and none of them make any consistency.
I mean, looking at that picture from 2 years ago, I'm inclined to believe she's over 40.
Again, this could be completely irrelevant, but it's just such a weird thing that she's very sensitive about this and keeps lying about it. If we go to the next one, what's funny is I also found out we are more certain about when Kim Jong-il was born than when she was. Scroll down on this. The North Korean Propaganda and Agitation Department holds a discrepancy of about a year between the Soviets and themselves about when Kim Jong-il was born, which is less discrepancy than Taylor Lorenz, well, her propaganda department gives about when she was born, and she's very, very upset about that. But back to the Billboard, because that's a whole side story, which is just a weird rabbit hole into God knows where. But we see Tim Pool responding to her, saying here, "I'm not discrediting your reporting, done it yourself. I repeatedly said that it was justified, and publishing a name we can argue the merits. I'm calling you out for lying when you and your Washington Post denied linking to private details. You published Lib's private address. Just own it."
Yep.
And then if we go to the next one, he continues, making the point. "I'm glad to hear you're not upset and your friends and fans are also happy. It's the way it should be. You make a statement, I contest it. We all had our points heard. You on CNN, mine on Times Square."
Yes, who saw more? Who got seen more?
And also who won. I mean,
but like no one watches CNN.
Yeah, she's going on CNN Plus, being like, "This is my big break." And meanwhile, Tim Pool is just storming her again. Just another guy. I mean, I love how the social media world works now. Like all the old, corporate press outlets are so pathetic. You can
see them becoming isolated.
Yeah,
they're an incestuous network that's growing smaller and smaller by the day.
They live outside of the public.
Yes,
and also don't influence the public increasingly. If we go to the next one, we have Taylor crying. She's very upset about this. "My family and friends are not happy." Oh, I wonder why. They're disappointed in their daughter. "They have been subject to a non-stop stream of hateful attacks, doxing, and violent attacks driven by this baseless campaign. Happy to hear you're moving on."
Maybe if you didn't start doxing people, then this wouldn't have happened to you, Taylor.
Psychopath. I mean, real psychopath.
Oh, yeah, just lying.
"I've been subject to a non-stop stream of hateful attacks. I've been doxed. I've had violent attacks driven because of this baseless campaign." Just go to the next one.
I love it. That's a brilliant. Sorry, just baseless campaign. What did libs of TikTok do to you, Taylor Lorenz?
No one knew who the hell you were.
Yeah.
Literally no one. I mean, I found Ricky reading her Wikipedia page. The most interesting about her life is that she's being sued for defamation. Because apparently, according to the plaintiff, that she made up some stuff while working for the New York Times.
I can believe that.
It's just like, that's the most interesting thing in your life, is being an alleged liar.
Yeah.
And then you decide to go out and be evil. And so...
Wakes up, I think I'll be evil today. Just like every other day.
Go to the next one. We have libs of TikTok responding to the psychopath here, just being like, "Jesus Christ. Every single person sharing my last name got harassed. This psycho showed up to people's homes who have the same last name as me. I received dozens of death threats. Now she's crying the victim. What a hypocritical lunatic." I mean, just 100%. Again, big L there.
Yep.
Lost in the ratio, if nothing else.
Yep.
Just, how are you losing to a random Twitter account?
A meme account, basically.
Yes. I mean, it's a very good meme.
Oh, yeah, don't get me wrong. I love libs of TikTok, but like it's, again, the prestige of the New York Times and the Washington Post must just be at an all-time low at this point.
If we go to the next one, we can see libs of TikTok continue to just do good work because she actually has something useful to do in life.
Oh, not humanizing babies.
Yeah, so this is more exposing of the left by posting their own opinions. And this is a leftist who is accusing the right, the evil right, of wanting to humanize babies.
Good.
The only reason
babies are great.
So the right wants you to check up on your pregnancy and find out if it's a boy or a girl. And the only reason the right does that is because they want you to not kill it.
That's true.
That's the bad thing that they're doing.
Yeah.
Let's play the clip.
A lot of anti-abortion advocates are also seemingly really into the idea of finding out their child's sex really early on. And I think this is because of this like underlying cultural idea that gender confers humanity. And, you know, if you're against people aborting fetuses, you need to construct them as like fully people. And one of the mechanisms to do so is by putting gender on them. So like, you know, we often call fetuses like it, or we call even early babies, we often call it, you know, babies like it's crying because it's like not quite gotten gender and it's not quite become a person. But like a lot of conservatives who are really anti-abortion and really pro-reproduction, they're obsessed with gendering their children before they're even born. So they come into a world fully gendered because it's like how to humanize them and to stop people from being able to have safe access to abortions.
That is disgusting. If you call a baby that's crying it, you are the problem.
I mean, you could argue that maybe you've not picked a name, so you're still calling it baby. I've seen
he or
parents
she.
do that. Yeah,
Yeah,
but that's
baby,
the thing.
maybe, yeah,
But
but-
he's also arguing because it's still an it when it's crying and fully formed.
That's awful.
That's as human as the conception, and therefore is still presumably allowed to be aborted.
Well, that's where they're getting at.
I mean, that is his entire argument.
Well, the left have been. Have you seen the James Franco thing where the professor is arguing that babies aren't people and therefore they can be killed? And you can see James Franco's face just like, you want to kill a baby? It's like,
That's what they're telling you.
Yeah, well, it's just an it you see because it hasn't chosen its gender.
Yeah.
It's like, no, it's a he or a she. Get over it.
Also,
you
leftist
psychos.
garbage of like, oh yeah, society picks the gender. We're checking its sex
Yeah,
in the
shut up.
stomach, and you're like, yeah, that's society.
Yeah, disgusting.
I'm sick of the left. Just insane. I'm glad they're leaving. If we go to the next one, we can see this here, which is some news. So if we go to the next one, we can see the news, which is that apparently, if we go to the next one, please, we can see the news that there is some school in which they're handing out pizza and dessert for students who are brown-skinned because, can you guess?
What?
The students are having to deal with white people.
So they're getting free pizzas?
Yes, they're getting pizza and dessert for school for lunchtime. They're taking them out of class so they can feed them it. As you can
Because
see.
they have to deal with white people.
There's segregated time slots for the different kinds of browns as well, of course. So we have African Americans at 6. then next we have the Hispanics in their own segregated
Literally
space.
the racial hierarchy: the blacks first, then the Hispanics,
and then 2 or more background students. We have the mixed class in which they're going to get
the mulattoes last.
We get different kinds
Well,
of
second to last, then the
pizza
whites.
and cake as well. You have the full spicy meat feast for the African students, and then by the time you get to the mixed race, I don't know, it's just cheese.
I mean, just actual racial hierarchy.
Yeah, the reasoning given here, the lunches will give Mrs. Young a chance to talk with students about how to cope with being a student in a predominantly white school. I love the wording there. Not the kids.
Yeah.
It gives an opportunity for Mrs. Young.
Yeah.
Not for the kids to learn anything, not for the kids to deal with anything, because being in a school with white kids is not a problem.
This is why Libs of TikTok is doing a good service.
Yeah. Mrs. Young's special time needs to be exposed for what it is. Creepy and groomerish. In this case, for
Racist. Really, really racist.
well, grooming for critical race theory. I
Yeah.
mean, being like, I know it's tough, dealing
You're
with the
black.
white kids.
That must suck for you. I'm here to help.
Forget
I, a white woman, I'm going to segregate you off from those white kids.
the next one, we
Don't
have
worry, I'll take care of you.
some other lunatic warning about fascism, because fascism is when free speech. That's his argument here. We don't have time for it. It's as mind-numbing as you can guess.
Yes, fascism is when there's free speech.
If we go to the next one, we can have Amazon, who are having a meltdown along with everyone else in Silicon Valley. This one, what can you guess? It's Matt Walsh.
Oh, good.
It's Matt Walsh who published a book called about Johnny's Walrus
Yep.
and how the walrus isn't a walrus. So that's evil. It got to #1 best-selling for kids because it's actually reflecting of reality and like anti-racist baby or any other
Johnny
nonsense.
likes to play make-believe by saying, I identify as. That's okay.
So we're going to listen to the internal conversations and all hands-on-deck moments in Amazon, apparently, in which they've already reported the books, don't worry, and we'll enjoy them freaking out. Let's play.
The recommendations that this customer received and that other customers frequently reach out to us about that they're receiving. It's about a book called Johnny the Walrus. And I want to be very clear, the next 2 are about books. And I saw someone say, oh, joy, we're going to talk about one of them because it's been a very traumatic experience for transgender Amazonians and our transgender customers.
Transgender
What I don't
Amazonians.
want to come out of this is slamming the books team with a bunch of tickets. They're already aware of this. There are things in this space that are happening. But Johnny the Walrus is a bit of a problematic book. Not a bit. It is not a bit of a problem. It's one hell of a problem. And I would preface this about what the book's about, but the customer we're going to listen to.
Oh, how is this happening to us?
Also, would you like a copy of Mein Kampf?
So
that still sells it.
let's go ahead and listen to this customer.
So I got my copy.
Teaching kids to kill, to bully transgenders, to bully them into committing suicide, the LGBTQIA, especially transgenders. You are selling a manual to how to teach kids to bully other kids to commit suicide.
So there you are. They're all listening to phone calls of Karens calling up, being mad, and deciding that this is hell on earth, must censor this evil, evil book from Matt Walsh.
Absolutely mad.
Points out reality. That's the state of Amazon at the moment as well. I did have some more stuff of just the other weirdness. As you can see here, we'll go through it very quickly. It was just the Department of Education, Biden's, is being told to tell the science teachers throughout the state schools to teach that, not everyone who produces eggs is a woman. That's going to be science within the United States education system.
No, that is true. I mean, older women who have no eggs left are...
They're arguing that men can produce eggs.
Oh, right. Okay.
So that's what the science class is going to be teaching your kids.
Well, good news.
Again, loads of TikTok exposing that. And if we go to the last one here, we have...
And I've got that the wrong way around anyway. Don't worry about it.
The funniest one here, which I just found, is some transgender non-binary teacher promoting themselves to their students. Because, of course... I just can't get over that sentence, though. What are you transitioning into?
I was born in the wrong body. Even though I was born a girl, I feel more like a boy inside, but I don't fully feel like either. So, good luck.
He is transitioning into being non-binary because he's not transitioning into being a girl, but he thinks he's born a girl. I mean, how deeply confused
if
do
you
you
were
have
born
to
a
be?
girl, I'm just going to say you're a girl. Okay?
I'm just going to say this person is clearly mad.
Yeah.
I mean, that one especially. But there we go. There's the endless list of just insane stuff. And Taylor Lorenz having a big old cry about Tim Paul's evil, scary billboard. And good job, Tim. It's very good. Tim of the Beanie. If you appreciated that segment from the podcast of the Lotus Eaters, you can go to lotuseaters.com to check out all the content we have on the site, such as this book review from Hannah Gell of Douglas Murray's news book, The War on the West, How to Prevail in an Age of Unreason. And if you want to find out what else we're putting out, you can follow us on Getter at lotuseaters_com on Getter. Thank you and goodbye.